No. No. Maybe. Okay. Are we good? Maybe. Sometimes. I can't tell. Okay, welcome. Let's do this. Nope. There we go. Okay. Gotta click the buttons. How you guys doing? Okay. Right. I got everything set up except everything that I do for during this time, so. Good for me. Okay. Let's get that all set up. Okay. I think we're good. Great. Alright. Welcome back. How you guys doing? It's Thursday. Means I'm a little bit more slightly energetic than than the Tuesday's nerves. So, whatever reason that happens. But yeah. How you guys doing? Doing great. Hi, Cookie. Go ahead and push that up. Hi, Commodore Dragon. Yeah. Probably could get pretty started on this. I'm not sure how long or how elaborate this will really get. But I can show you what we got so far. So last time we had a little brainstorm, little prompt, I guess, to get this going. This is just the sketch, a couple things, as well as just the 2 keyframes, really. So I can describe it that it's the jackalope from one of my older videos. So I'm gonna use his as a model, and then we'll see if I can get it close to this style. But it's probably just gonna be hand drawn, so it's probably gonna be a little bit different. The way that I usually draw things is that I usually sketch them out, hand drawn, and then I do another layer on top of that, and then draw it very finely with a vector tool, so I can get like perfect lines and then curve them. So becomes more mathematical, like perfect, rather than me freehanding and trying to get these weird curves that I'll never be able to do. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. I rearranged a couple things with the couple of stuff. I just moved the X sheet as this long thing here, which you might recognize from the Open Tunes streams that I was doing, where they had an X sheet, which is this big column that just says like, oh, this is frame 2 from drawing substitutions, and this is frame 3. Yeah, so I worked with Toon a little bit today. Just working on different, just like test. I have like a test room basically, and just kind of playing around with a bunch of stuff. So trying to get more familiarized with it. If I do more projects with it, then I'll see. I'm getting. I know, like last week, like the first couple days, it was really rough. I'm warming up to it. I feel better than a week ago. So we'll see. You know, I'm sure I'm not perfect, but I'm feeling more confident about how I'm doing things, to say the least. At least I know where more things are, and pressing different buttons, and it's like, oh, I need to look at the strokes or whatever. I can press D now, and everything's got this purple line thing, so that's cool. Yep. I'll kind of just jump right into it if nothing else going on right now with you guys. Okay. I think I'll probably go with the cutter. Just gotta get rid of a couple of these lines. I want to probably change it to be more like a rabbit design, where the rabbits usually would like run more like an animal. Probably gotta change it to be more like that. So just get a leg here instead, and then we'll go to the next one, and then change this one to be the back leg one. So hopefully that makes a little bit more sense. Yeah, I can see that. So okay, not sure how many keyframes really there'll be. Probably once I get into it. It depends on if I want to do it on 2s or 1s. That'll definitely change how many frames I'll use. But I think for now I'll try to go for 2s, and then if that looks like slightly choppy or needs like one little in between to make it look a little bit smoother, then I'll definitely do that. So I think I'll just jump right in and start keep playing with these keyframes to see what I'm really gonna be happy with. Forget it. Move a little bit more. Number of keyframes depends on how fast. Yes. Exactly. It's. I feel like the thing is the catch-all whatever is like if you can add as many keyframes as you want, but like it depends on the frame rate as well as the actual motion that you want to do. If this doesn't work, you know, just as in general, then adding 10 keyframes between these two won't really help it. You know, it won't be, it'll feel smoother, but at the same time it'd be like slow. Because the frames each take, you know, a certain amount of time, so if this timing here that I'm able to see, if that's too slow or fast, then changing or adding many more keyframes into it, then it doesn't really, it's not going to help more in that case. So it becomes this like balancing act of trying to make it read while also being as smooth as it can be, you know. Because we can go for more smooth, you know, and try and do it on ones, but just trying to get that basic like timing of this to make sure that this works and everything, you know, everything kind of relies on making sure that these frames work. Because if either of these don't really work, then trying to shape tween or motion tween into the other one, then if something's wrong in any of those, then it'll be bad. And man on twos, yeah, I do that. Most of my current videos have been on twos, but the paper Derpy movie has a bunch of tweens, so it's more on ones with that. I didn't think that gets more of a smoother feel to it, more like a video game rather than a cartoon with the other ones. So the only problem with this sort of thing is that we want to figure out wording in between would be. So I can either probably just duplicate it and then take this and delete it and then onion skin and then see if I can find a way to see both of them. So what's this one now? This one's 4. Let's move that back. Now I can see both of them. Obviously it's a mess, but we'll figure it out. You made a 15s? Oh, that's cool. I don't think you're I think that'll really help. Let's go. Okay. So I got my brush. Let's see. So I don't know why, but it seems like my brush still is like a little bit weird. I think I'd like looked at it like a little bit later and seemed to have like a little bit of parallax. Like if I go really slow, you can see where my crosshair is versus where it's inking. So if you do it like really slow, at a point it like detaches for like a little bit. So if I do it at a really fast scale, then it's like it's more noticeable. So when I draw it, it's like really weird. So when I was trying to do that weird thing, it was like really being weird. So yeah. Yeah, it'll be like a slideshow for 2015. No bad pencil. Oh, awesome. You actually do anything? I'd like to see if you have any portfolios I can check out. Hello, Protengi. I'm gonna say legions because I don't know how to pronounce that. The only problem with this is now I can't really see sort of what I'm doing. Maybe that's because there actually is. Let's hang on. As soon as I started this, I was like, I started this into like, oh wait, I got this. Now it's like, wait a minute. There we go. That looks better. Okay, I can work with this, I think. But this should be 4 because I made this, so I should be able to delete it. That's better. Okay. It's not a 4 here. There's nothing in it. Now I'm on 4, so that should work. This works better. Okay. I was having weird trouble with that. So it shouldn't be non-existent, but it should be that one. So this one should be 2, 2, 4, 3. Fortunately, that's kind of how it works when you animate. That the frame numbers, the frame numbers that you make are like always not chronological. So yeah, it's like, oh, I did 1, 2, 4, 3, and then we'll probably have a 6 and then a 5 over here. So your order is not really gonna matter with the numbers of them being in order, because it's not gonna be possible to do that. So oh, you like, okay. So I could probably just shift and trace this hopefully and see sort of where this goes. So I'm probably gonna make this just a quick sketch just to see where we'll go with this. Kind of see, yeah, where everything is. So I can see the next thing being there. Okay. This will be fun to do. So I'm seeing it's there. So I probably want to take all this and then move it halfway in between the red and the green. So it gets very messy very quickly. What was it kind of anime like this anyway? It kind of gets kind of like almost second nature, pretty much. And it's just like, oh, okay, I just gotta draw this in between these two pictures. So like I can see over here that there's a red antler and then a green antler. So I just gotta draw somewhere in the middle, while also following like arcs and all those and everything. Nobody's gonna just to see what I'm doing. Or we not filled that in. Okay. So it's just gonna be drawing time here. Let's move that out, maybe. There we go. It's in between. Alright, that's how we're doing. Some people like flipping better. So, yeah, because sometimes you don't really know where things are. It just kind of like happens. Where you think you're following in between things, but then it's like, well, the actual drawing that I made actually doesn't make sense. So, let's try that again. Kind of stuff. Alright. Also following like what kind of motion I want out of it as well. That it's the leg starting to go up, and then the arms are pretty much in the same place. We're gonna favor one of these. Turn it off and on. And then take all this and just kind of, I kind of like draw and adjust as I go too. Takes a lot of concentration, so sorry about that. Yeah, there's not much more to this than I can say. So I was just trying to fight with the Toon Boom itself. So it's starting to go up. And already it kind of looks like it's already in motion, so that's pretty cool. So we just added like one in between, basically. So that's kind of where we're going for, and then we'll just make probably like one more. We could see if we can, so 2, 2, 4. For some reason there's a second keyframe here, so let's get rid of that. So I'm looking at the in between the onion skin as well as the, no, just the timeline as well as the X sheet, exposure sheet. He hops. So this one's exposed for 2, this one's exposed for 2, this one's exposed for 2. So we'll put here the 4th one, and then we'll expose that for 2 frames. And already we kind of got it pretty good. Let's see. Video for baby attending away from me. Oh, cool. How would a video show that? Okay. So everything should be exposed for 2 frames here. Probably don't need this. This was like our basic, but everything's kind of in here. Let's expose the final timeline. There we go. That's better. There's probably something in here that this should be backwards. So we'll have to make a new thingy. And this will be, yeah, 5. And so we'll just delete this. Oh, like it's trying to attack its camera. Cool. I get you then. Okay. So 2, 4, 3, 5. So this one's 5. So it should be in between 2. Numbers are weird because we have the like the 1 at the beginning. Yeah. That's where it should be. So I'll go over here and see if I can suppose for that. And then we'll get the in-between of this one. Alright. There's weird progress with this. Okay. How we doing? Is this too... It feels advanced, but it's like... At the same time, I feel like I'm always in control. So it's pretty fun to be able to do all this. Numbers are very weird. They never really make sense. So I gotta shift and trace this just to get the head somewhat similar. So when I actually get the final line art, it'll be closer. Okay. Okay. I feel like so many panels, it's like I'm the actual stage is too small now. Yeah, I forget that you're a... Are you an animator, Cookie? Or do you, because I know you just deal with... You talked about you do lip sync. So I wonder if you do more, you know... It's hard to say, like, oh, this is real animation or not. Feels like it. Just rotate it probably around that pivot point. Kind of put it in between. Maybe we'll just keep adjusting to see if this one works, yeah. Never done, and you do animation. Cool. We got the 2 spectrums. Awesome. Whoop. Womp, womp. 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 Womp, womp. Womp, womp, womp. Okay. Let's keep going with this. Alright. Can't see the other one. There we go. Animal Crossing. Oh, cool. You know, I'm a big fan of Animal Crossing. Talk about that if you want. Yep. Tail goes in the middle. And then the legs, they kind of jump. So let's see. They need to be womp, womp, womp. You need to get back to in between. Maybe like a just straight down or something. For, am I on 5? Yeah, okay. So you need to be like straight down like that. And then the arms are pretty much in the same place again. Probably shift and trace this once I get it. Alright. Let's see. So we can take this and kind of move it up. Legs are a little bit weird. We'll probably have to fix that in post. Oh boy. Let's see. I'll let get this last thing here, and then the rest of it will just be fiddling around with it rather than trying to concentrate on drawing it. This might be closer to that, maybe. And then we get rid of this. So let's delete. Up. Okay. That feels smoother. This is just the sketch layer of it. So we'll figure out how to do that. So I'll be doing that now. Let's see though. Final student film. Oh, cool. In May. Oh, good luck with that. Best of luck, yeah. My island is going pretty good. I share it with my parents, so they're kind of also take some their own liberties into decorating the island too. Not bad anything. It's just like, you know, it's like we have some like trash everywhere, and it's just like, yeah, let's just kind of put it in the plaza. We kind of have like this area where let's just like, yeah, let's just put all the stuff right there. Kind of like I just like use the plaza as a place to like put all of our junk, or like it's a garage sale kind of a place. Let's see. Probably want to put this back down here. But yeah, it's been really fun trying to decorate the house, my house, and trying to move this back. One. Can't get it. Ah. These buttons are so small. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. Trying to get my house, like, my main room is just a bunch of stuff that it's like, oh, I like that, and put it in. And then I have a back room, where I put a bunch of, like, fishing stuff. So, that's where I like to put, any big fish that I caught, or anything that I like. So I have, like, a big oar fish. That giant, like, eel thing. So I put that in there. That's been really fun. It's made it like an oceanography study type of place, where I had a little desk where I can study, I guess. Bunch of other stuff. It's hard to think. But yeah, really enjoying it. I haven't played Animal Crossing, as I probably said, like since like 2008 or something. So never got into the 3DS version, so that's a little unfortunate with that. But yeah, so I've been really have a lot of fun with that. I'm just picking things. If you want to know what I'm doing, I'm just picking each little element here and making sure that each of these kind of work. So I did the ears, and I'll probably move on to something else to see if they work. But yeah, let's see. Yeah, I've been playing since the GameCube. That was the first time I played it. Probably should be maybe like play a different pose, like maybe he has to lean forward. This is like more of a spring up, so that would be a little bit higher maybe, and then this will have to be higher. We can squish and pull them here. Probably should be way higher because it's gonna be here, so it's like they have like more of a whoa kind of pose. Let's see. This is what I mean. There's just like I'm not really drawing at this point. I'm just kind of like manipulating the different parts here. Yeah, let's see. I'm gonna take these couple parts and then say, let's rotate it back. And then just using the looping style of it, that I can just see like, okay, this will probably work better and see. That kind of works. Okay. Let's see. Okay. He went back to an earlier one. Wow, that must be tricky. Because like, you could always iterate onto it. I don't know how you would downgrade. Just reading your stuff. Server PG. Yeah. Perfect for Animal Crossing. Yes, I've actually done some small, like trying to make a design character, trying to make like a cat character, like a try to anthro type of character. Probably needs a couple more tries at the in the oven to get that really looking satisfactory. Probably more lessons or something to get that looking good. But yeah, still using the same kind of outline list. So it's just a bunch of fills style. Art style to it. But yeah, it's a lot more tricky than I thought to get that going. It should be a little bit different. It should probably still be like up and then not that down. Try to get that pinpoint a little bit down. Once I get this good, then I can worry about the final line art. Yeah. City Folk was named like, what was it? What was it in Europe? It had a different name. But yeah, I remember that City Folk. So, the Bear World. Yeah, I think since Wild World they've always had the Bear World. Let's go to the city. Just this nice name. I either need to fix this one or need to add like another frame here and there. Like I could add a frame here called as 6 and then modify this one to be squash and stretch and then see where this goes, and then because might just have to do that where yeah, already it feels more squishy. I added one frame. That's cool. Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, the GameCube had the more Zelda type overworld map, where like it would like have like each acre would be like you're in D4. Let's duplicate this one and then we'll edit it to be a little bit taller, as well as this. Nope, so selecting everything. Let's get this and this, and then this goes down a little bit more. Yeah, it feels more squishy. I don't know about that. I think our City Folk was the weakest of it. It definitely sold the least, I think. So City Folk was not quite the strongest point in the series. We can say that. Do you have gyroids? I think so. You remember in the original they were like, you're like assistant or something, and they would like shake and say like, oh, you got a message, check it out. But they had like, you weren't like in mailbox, but they did other things. You were able to collect them, yeah. I have not seen a gyroid in the real one or the new one. That's what I'm saying. I'm not sure. Doesn't? Ah man. Yeah, why not? They were like in New Leaf, right? I never played New Leaf, but I think they had them as like the construction guys, right? You can see if I'm wrong, but like if you wanted to like build a bridge, they'd be like, hey, they would show up in front of the construction and say like, hey, you know, just wait a bit, it's not done. Yeah. GameCube was the one where they next to the Was that how you saved your game? You would talk to the gyroid, he would say like, hey, save my game, and then you would just go inside and then it'll go to the black screen. Yeah. I'm pretty happy with this, but it might be like small tweaks to this now. But I'm pretty happy with how this is sort of going. I might need to change just smaller things as I go, like making sure that the feet lines work. Yeah, stuff like this. Where I can just quickly change. Yeah. I feel like I shouldn't have like its feet be like underneath there. So I'll just drag them up. That doesn't work. So bop, bop. Just gonna rotate them down a little bit. Sorry, I'm just trying to think about this. Bop, 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 bop. Trying to think of anything that drags. Bop, bop. Bop, bop. And then these will all fall over on itself. It could be like a bend. I can get rid of these ones and then figure out how to bend it over somehow. Okay. Let's see. Sorry about that. Let's see. You see every day then the guy walks into the house and shuts the door. Yeah. So that sways a bit. Okay. Let me fix that. Nope. That's not right. So bump, bump, bump. Yeah, see here. That arc doesn't make sense. So we'll continue with the upward arc. So bump. So this one needs to be down. Didn't get all the bits. So bump. So down, down, sideways, looking ish up. And then get this one to look all the way up. Try to align it. Bop, bop, bop. Let's keep it sort of more up there and then down. Ah, that looks worse. Okay. Let's fix it while we're in sketch mode, really. How am I doing? Might be able to just get these sketches, you know, blocking in really only. Then next time I'll have to do the final line art, which might just take as much time. Good. It's probably like just how this is drawn too. So I'm just seeing where everything is. And seeing that this needs to be pulled forward. Not that way. Trying to get this small pivot point. And then down. Okay. It's probably because its cheek is weird. Let's kind of zoom out. That kind of helps too. Or it's just like a small pivot point. Small layer in soon. I think it works. It definitely like animates as well. Pretty happy with that. Let's see. Okay. Animal Crossing clone. Could have been a great game. Fast made it would have been funny. Ah. Yeah, I'll have to do some more tie downs. But I think, yeah, for the sketch it works decent enough for like what I never knew I could do that. I don't exactly know the proper definition for tie down, whether it's just like doing a final line art and then saying like that's the tie down, or if it's just making sure that the sketch looks decent and just, I don't know. I just usually just kind of do this anyway. So let's see. Hello, Game Foxer. Yes, I've actually done a couple streams where I've used Blender. I've used other 3D modeling software in the past, but they're always like way too complicated, or just like never just sat down and just like learned one. So I decided to just sit down and learn Blender. So I'm using that for my movie actually, where I'm doing 3D sets, where I'm using flash animation to make the characters, and then it'll be like a Mario style where they're all flat sprites basically, and then I put them into the 3D scene in Blender, and then I can move the camera around and it'll work. So I like that kind of pipeline. It works pretty good because I can like immediately go into Flash and like say make a PNG sequence and then put that as a texture on a 2D plane inside of Blender and then work with that. So yeah, thanks for asking that. Let's see, I'm gonna make a new layer here. Probably just gonna go ahead and do this with this. So this will be Jack line art. So I got a new layer there. That's fun. So Jack line art sketch. I could expand this, but it's probably not needed. So okay, let's go to 1 here. Okay, so I could lock it, just make sure I don't mess with it. Actually, let's move everything back 1, I think. That might make things slightly easier. The cool thing about Toon Bloom is that it doesn't delete your drawings. So I can move everything back 1, and frame 1 in this still exists. I can switch this one to 1, and I'll switch to it. So yeah. So I can move this back to start on 1 and then end at, let's see, my sketch lost its frames for some reason. There it is. Okay. So I want to drag all these over 1. Now it has the frames. Okay. So go to here and then say take these and delete them. Okay, so start at 1 and then end here. So at 8. Nope, at 7. I think it needs to be 8. And then extend this for 1 more. Let's see. Yeah, I'm just trying to move this back a bit. It's a little complicated more. Let's see. I don't think I've tried AutoCAD. You can make 3D models in that. Engineering. Oh, cool. I feel like something's wrong. Something with the timing feels weird. Let's move this one over, maybe. It should be 6. Why is it 6? I feel like it should be 2. 2. 2, 6. 2, 6. 3, 7. 5. 7. No. 5. Let's see. 2, 3, 4. This is why you probably want to name them. So 5. Let's get rid of this actually and call it 5. So I can figure out what's going on here. it's probably gonna be someone's there. Okay. Bop, bop, bop. Let's delete this one. I feel like I messed something up along the way. That looks pretty good. I just want to make sure before I actually start drawing and everything. Bop, 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 bop. It's like a weird mix of ones and twos. That's probably why it feels like whoa, whoa, a little bit. So I could fake a couple of these frames, and just make it sort of more. Like I could make this one and then make. I could just make this on ones. It might actually be weirdly easier to animate it. At least it'll just feel more smooth in that case. So here's 8. Let's just go ahead and zoom in. Bop, bop, bop. Okay. Yeah. I feel like I've been trying to learn Toon Boom so much that I've sort of neglected about the movie a little bit. So I feel bad about that. Oh dear. Yeah. I don't know when it's coming out, especially because I don't know when or how much work the other thing that was going to require-ish the Toon Boom program, where it's like a big project. So that's what I'm doing this for, is that I can learn this program and then be able to make animation with it. Let's see. There's always this line here. There we go. I feel like I'm missing something. That looks pretty good. I can shift and trace it. And just kind of put it in the middle. Rotate it. Kind of gets some in there. Okay. So this should be actually going down. It should be flopping down. Let's see. Yeah. Alright. It feels smoother somehow. Let's see. Yeah, this is the free demo that I'm using for Toon Boom. So I got like maybe like 2 weeks left in it. So I've only been working with this since like the beginning of the year practically. So you already see like how much I've feel more comfortable in it. So yeah, the pricing of it is a little bit, feels a little stingy, but it's just like I see why that why it has to be this way. That is just as powerful, if not more powerful than Flash. So we want it to be, you know, competitive for what you're getting here. That's looking pretty good. Let's see. Shareware? Don't think so. If that's what you're thinking. It's just the it's like getting the playable demo. I'm able to actually export everything if I wanted to. I've actually exported a couple things into GIFs and movies already. Make it into PNG sequences, and then also make them into bring them into After Effects, and then start animating or like composing. What is it? Not composing, but like putting all the special effects onto it and doing After Effects-y stuff. It should be, so it starts at 2 and here's 2, so I'm gonna between it. In between here. Let's go. Free demos are sure. Okay. It just sounds like, whoa, it just sounds like a scary name with how you're saying it like that. There I don't understand. Let's see. I'm gonna shift and trace this again. Okay. Hello, sprinkles. Let's see. Forgot the thing, and the thing, and the thing. Okay. I also forgot the things. How you doing? Let's put this in the middle. Middle. Let's take all this. Nope. Wrong button. And slide it in the middle. Okay. That should be pretty good there. Oh well. Sprinkle cat in a box. Cute. Yeah, this is a. Well, now it's not exactly gonna work, but yeah, it's a little rabbit. It's my jackalope character. I can show you my other one here. So I made this in Flash, Adobe Animate. I used it about half a year ago as a little character. So I'm doing a frame-by-frame animation with him. So it's going pretty good. Pretty happy with how it's looking. Let's see. I like jackalopes. Great. I hope you stick around for this then. Probably go on for maybe like 15 minutes with the outro content and then go to toaster time for the rest. Bum, 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 bum. I was like, catacorn. Oh, cool. Yeah. I'm not sure what that is, but I'm gonna say that sounds cool. Trying to figure out whereabouts his legs should be. Maybe more ready to be on the floor. That's kind of... What's it called when you make it stronger on the this frame more than the other one? Favor. So I'm favoring the ending key. So that's kind of in the middle. And you go wop wop. Shame that you can't move the screen as you move it. That looks pretty good. I could change the sketch into maybe a different layer. Color, so you can see it. Somehow a little bit different. What would work best? Maybe just black for now. There you go. I mean, that's an animation. Let's see. Maybe. I don't know what's going on there. This actually works pretty good. The fun thing is that I can either clean this artwork up or make a new layer and then just make sure that I get all the perfect lines for it. This actually works pretty good. But you see like how, especially in the onion X sheet, I don't know why I keep calling it onion skin, but this little bar thing here, which has really small numbers, says that I was using start on frame 2 just because frame 1 was weird. Go to frame 6, go to frame 8, go to frame 3, go to 7, 5, 9, back to 2. So it's saying that what I have here is out of order-ish, but also that's the way that you actually, that's the order that I drew the frames in, is that it's 2, 6, 8, 3, 7, 5, 9. Just because I kind of went back and forth a little bit, but also that I also added in-betweens later on. So yeah. So this will be the key, when you use these keyframes as your base, and then you say, I'm going to add in-betweens and then breakdowns and tie-ins, or we don't do tie-ins right now, but way that's called is pose to pose. So I've used those keyframes as bases, so I could like, I forgot how to do it exactly, but I could tag it. There's a way to like colorize the layer. I'll have to find a layer. Default layer color? I think that's the whole thing. But yeah. If I was able to color it, I'd be able to say like, oh, this is my key up and then my key down. And then just basically just, it's not really shape tweeting, but just kind of saying like where it should be in between each nose. So, this is our sketch. The little line that goes over will probably be a 3D-ish shape. So I could just whack that in that it has depth, you know, to it like that. So that's what it's probably going to look like the whole way. But for our sakes, just make sure that it works. You know, this is our proof of concept, you know, layer. More so than our first keys or even our first sketch to be able to figure out how to draw it first. So, the next phase will probably take another hour or more, where most of the bulk work is done. It would just be tweaking it and drawing it very nicely, and then coloring it in, and then that would be like 7 frames of animation, and then you can imagine if you wanted it to be this quality for an extended period of time, how long that'll take. So yeah, especially not being super comfortable with Toon Boom itself. I could play it for you. It's a little, you know, that's the only thing that's really slowing me down. Really, the rest of it is just like conceptualizing like how it's supposed to animate or move. But yeah, so I'm trying to play around in some of the panels too and trying to figure out like what kind of workspace I like to. But yeah, this is a pretty good result. I think somewhere in there it's probably wonky, so when we go to line art and try to do another pass at this like I was doing, I could figure out like what's making this not work as well. But I think as a whole this works as a proof of concept kind of a thing. I could, you know, change some shapes or something, or, you know, other things, but yeah, as I said, like, it's a pretty good kind of a thing. Let's see. You should add an extra frame or two when he's completely off the ground. There is one or so. So off the ground is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 4 frames. There's only like 1, 2, 3. So he's in the air more than off the ground, but I know what you mean, that we could add one more, but I feel like it might be a bit much at this point of all these, that we could make it slower. I know there's a trick of expanding drawings. It's exposure. Set exposure to 2. This will make it twice as long, so we can see it twice as slow. That looks pretty cool, actually. But that's what I mean too, that if we, in between this now, it'll seem slow, because we're adding more frames, rather than saying like what kind of speed I want it to be, and then making, if there is room to that speed, and then animating to that kind of a thing. Make them last longer. Oh, gotcha. Expand maybe like some of the frames. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, that's true. Most of the regulars, like Star and Cookie, would like to talk about more. Most because they're also moderators that I've sent to, so they stick around the whole time. Yeah. Go ahead and talk as much as you want. As much as probably as I'd be able to do today, but I think I could set this back to 1s and then see where to go. But yeah, I think it's about as much time as we got today. So you can just see like how much complicated and a lot of work this is. I feel like the pipeline itself is similar to Flash, but I feel like adding Flash doesn't actually have an internal X sheet, as well as the drawing substitution, which is this box here, where I can see every drawing that I made on that layer. So it's like, that's nice-ish, but there's also, you know, where the drawing substitution is basically what the frame picker does in Flash. So the frame picker has it actually in order from, it's basically looking inside of a symbol, where if inside of a symbol you can see, I could just do it real quick if this is open. If I like have a drawing here which is a different color, and then draw a different shape on each of these frames, I can say like I have 3 drawings. I can go back in and add a new exposure, delete it. So frame 1, frame, what do you call this? A pentagon. 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice that I drew these in a weird order now. Let's draw that shape, and then that. If I make this into, copy this into, how do we do this? Copy, insert new symbol, symbol 1, paste the frames into that symbol, delete that layer, go back out, add a new layer, delete this one, go into library, put it back in, and then we can see that it's in the right order from how I wanted it to be in. Like if this was animation, is we each frame in sequence. As well as the frame picker, which is this panel. If I select it, we can see from these thumbnails that these are in the order that would be animated, rather than the order that I drew them in. Because I drew this one later than, you know, the square one, I think. Or I can even add something else, you know, on frame, you know, even frame 1 if I wanted. I'm just trying to prove a point that it's just like it's different from how Flash does it. That I can do a swirly or something. So this is on frame 1 now. I drew this after the other ones, but if we go back out, the swirly is frame 1. So it's different, but it still acts the same way. So if I'm used to this way, then going into Toon Boom, then it's just like, whoops, that's different. But yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Hi, Allie. Lee? I don't know. Alexander. There you go. I can read that. Okay. Bye, Star. But yeah, just to prove this point real quick is that it's... I'm using Flash. I've used Flash for like 6 or 7 years. So, if I start to like, you know, get these habits and like getting used to how this works, then it's like, as soon as I move over to this, and it's just like, whoops, you know, this order is in the order that you drew them in, or if you added a in between or something. I don't know how that exactly works, but it is different and not in the order that this is actually animated in this order. As you can see, like I'm pointing at it. As you see in the little box, that the blue highlight from frame 1, it goes around and plops around, but if I go to Flash again, then you'll see that as I go through it, that it's the same order as in here. So that's it doesn't really hinder anything, but if there's 1,000 of them, and if you had like a longer shot, or I don't know why you need 1,000 frames, but maybe, you know, you have like 30 or 50 mouth shapes and you want it to be in a particular order, but maybe you forgot one, or you needed something in between 2 mouth shapes. The way that this one works is that if you wanted it to be in Flash, if you want a mouth shape between 2 and 3, then, you know, you can go in between 2 and 3 and then draw it, and it'll be in the right order as in that timeline. But with Toon Boom, it's just like, well, you drew that afterward, so we're going to put it as number 7 in this case. So it's just like, but the order of what I wanted it to be was 2, 3, and then 4. But because I drew it 2, 3, 7, it's like, so it just kind of messes up with that. But a lot of other stuff is nice, especially X Sheet, which people have made scripts for making X Sheets in Flash, but I don't think they work with newer versions, or they worked with like an older action script. So to that, it's just like, you don't really need an X sheet, but it's just like that kind of, it helps me with the visualization of it, that I can see that, oh yeah, that is what I'm doing. Rather than, I could look at this timeline forever, but not actually, if I only like solo on the timeline, I can't really exactly see what's going on, based on if I see this. It's like, oh, it's 2 and then 6 and then 8. And unfortunately, based on what the order of what this is kind of determines what's actually going on. So, but yeah, that's just a little thing with that. But hopefully, yeah, we'll see what we'll do with this. It's almost like it feels like it's interlacing a little bit, or like it's is that the right word? Where it's like interpolating the frames in between, because this is on 2s, but it feels like it's on 1 somehow. I don't know how that's working. Yeah. Anyway, get a better frame there. Hope you had fun with this. I actually had a pretty good time. I know that last week I was very, getting somewhat like passive aggressive against it. But warming up, we'll see. Yeah, we can go to toast of time and we'll see if there's anything else for you. So yeah, see you next time. Hang on. There you go. Welcome back. Okay. Did I miss anything in the comments? Let's see here. There was some narwhal stuff that probably doesn't pertain exactly to what I was doing. That's okay. Thank you for that. Okay. Yeah, it's the magic of animation. It's just like it fills in the blanks. Like the whole animation itself is an illusion. So you never really... You're just adding more layers onto the illusion. Like doing a magic trick. Got some phone stuff. Okay, got some emails. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Tomorrow's Good Friday. Oh, great. Yeah, this was indirectly, I feel like, because it was Chad figuring things out with the random stuff of like, we could have had a Yeti animation, and now we got a jackalope doing taxes. So we became like very like, oh, it's actually more current than I would have expected. Let's see. All right. Yeah. So I gotta talk about that. Of how Toon Boom is growing on me. I've only been working with it for like about a week, actually. I think today it's been a week. Haven't been working on it every day, but on the days that I didn't work, I would watch hours of tutorials. So, the other thing now is for the future of trying to think of whether it's enough of a replacement that I can say I'm not going to work with Animate anymore and just switch fully to Toon Boom. If I want to switch from Flash to Toon Boom is a big question right now, because I've, have an asset library of all my cartoons for 7 years, and I've been kind of very using Flash's quirks, to create things, because like the programs are very, very different, and I explained that a little bit, that they're even as simple as things or just like backwards or in a different order and everything. So is it worth it to unlearn everything and learn a completely new thing while I have, well, at the back of my mind, I have knowledge of using an animation software, I have knowledge of animation software, I have assets for this, and I can just create things. I made the Yoshi Greenwater animation in 3 days while also working on other things. So it's a small enough project, but I was able to concentrate and do a lot of stuff in that, where the ocean water had like 5 layers on it with different shape tweens and a bunch of stuff. So it's like, I don't know if I'm like efficient enough really right now to be able to drop down and just make, if I was to make the Yoshi Blue Water in Toon Boom, how long would it take? I'm trying to visualize that, and I'm not sure right now with my abilities, so to exactly get like an exact figuring that out. So Yoshi Blue Water was done in Flash. That's why it's like so quick. I don't think I had Toon Boom while I was working on it. Yeah. So I worked with the Blue Water the Saturday before April. I don't know what you call that. March. Use my calculator. The March 28th to the 31st. And then I got Toon Boom on the 2nd. So, oh yeah, looks great. Yeah, so I got Toon Boom like 2 days after I worked on I finished the Blue Water. So, yeah. But yeah, if I wanted to visualize that and see if I can do that in Toon Boom, it'll be tricky. The only thing that's tricky. Oh, cool, Sprinkles. Yeah, I I drafted a scoreboard on your birthday. Yeah, the only thing with switching now is that I'm not sure how to exactly like make a puppet efficiently with cutouts, because I usually I use cutouts and puppets usually for my cartoons, as most of you are aware. But most of the hand drawn stuff is just for small effects or yeah, little like splashes and clouds and stuff are hand drawn. But most of the characters are all drawn with puppets, so they're all different layers and manipulating those around. So if I could figure out a very fast and efficient way to like rig a character, like if I needed to rig the Yoshi and the birds and the Shy Guys all, you know, within a small amount of time, do that efficiently where I could then animate them really quick. That'll be good. I feel like right now I could do it, but I feel like it's not the studio or best way to do it. Because most, you know, the whole thing of Toon Boom is that it has these different layers of versions. I don't know what you call it, like tiers of Essentials, Advanced, and Premium. So, to that, it's like I feel like Essentials is basically just an alternate universe Flash. Like it came out of like the dark dimension where it's just like everything's slightly different compared to Flash. So it feels like just like using Essentials. It's just like, well, I'm just using Flash in a different coat of paint and everything's altered. So it's like if I go with that route, which will be the cheapest to be able to learn things and be the safest way, you know, not to spend, you know, 2 or 4 times as much. But then the caveat, I don't know how to say that, but the only downside is then if I go with the Essentials, then all the special features with Premium, you know, won't be able to be used. With the Midnightmares thing, which spawned all of this, that project had like Toon Boom assets, so that spawned me into like, well, I better get Toon Boom to be able to work on this, which I wanted to work on it. So that then led into like, let me just use the Essentials to just make the trial to see if I like it. And it's like I'm going on it now. But I'm also learning like, man, Premium actually has a whole lot of features that would actually be, you know, useful. But at the same time, it's just like, I'm not sure. I'm at this weird point right now. It's like, it's cool, but I don't have this spline deformer. Not exactly, you know, all the nodes like that seems like I can just, you know, I'm not sure how really powerful it is. I know it's powerful, but it just doesn't really seem with what I'm making, you know. I don't like wake up and start animating with Flash and say like, you know, if all I ever had a node system, you know, this would be way easier to animate. Maybe just not even not knowing like if I had, you know, there's no something to would be easier. It just seems like I never had a thought of like, you know, if I was able to like hook up like 5 different nodes and then put them together, then I'd be able to parent all these together or add a special factor like auto patch, you know, cutouts and do all these other crazy things. It's just like the cartoons that I'm making are just fine as they are. I don't see like if the way that I, you know, constructed all these puppets, they don't really have enough complexity to warrant that premium. But at the same time, the Midnightmares project and the assets that I got with the puppets, they seem to be they were made in premium, which when I open them in essentials, it says, hey, wait a minute, all of these, it has like a box that says like, hey, wait a minute, this is, you're using essentials, what's going on? And so it says like, well, this curve deformer and a whole bunch of layers won't really work. So it's like, well, now what? So my a little bit of loss of like, you know, do I take the risk of trying to pay more for the premium thing, while at the same time I feel like myself, if I make anything, I feel like I won't use it to its really any kind of potential than just hooking things up and just making it a simple thing. But if the project requires it, then I'm not sure, you know, what really to do. So I'm at this like weird, you know, conundrum with that. But that's just where I am. This is towards the time. This is where I'm just ranting about anything I'm thinking about. So I hope you don't mind that. So I saved it for the end. There you go. If anyone else has like any insight on that, maybe I would appreciate that. Don't have to, especially if you're not in the animation or art realm. Then yeah, might not be too useful of advice really, but just like common sense of just like, should I risk the risk of paying for premium is that it's a big amount of money, more than essentials obviously, and I'm not sure if the job that I'll use it with is exactly stable, where I'm not sure if the actual job will actually be consistent work, or because with everything that's going on, as you know, it's just like it seems like the director of this project is focused on other things at this point rather than this, you know, silly little cartoon that he's been trying to make for like 5-ish years. So let's see, the cheaper options ish would be, yeah, so the three tiers. I got his link. I can just share it out, whatever. Had this open for a while. So yeah, there's 3 tiers. There's basic, essentials, advanced, and premium. So I've heard a lot of people say like, well, if you're gonna do Toon Boom at all, then you might as well get the premium. But at the same time, you can see the prices of it. That it's yeah. So without any kind of like major job that I have, it just seems like a lot to like put into the pot of it, you know. It's like gambling to see if this project actually gets off the ground, because it's not actually off the ground right now. What I'm doing with this is just experimenting on my own, as well as the director hasn't been too involved, at least the last couple weeks, so it's hard to say right now where we are. If in a week we start animating and then I'll get a better feel, then the situation will change, as well as my trial will expire. So probably in like 2 weeks we'll have to see if where that situation is. But right now it's just like preparing for this decision is what I'm trying to figure out. But yeah. You want cheaper options right now, and if you fall in love with Toon Boom over time, then advance premium. I feel like I'm just, yeah, I understand. I feel like I'm so close to like an Animate that it's just like there's not much as stigma to like anything really to like, as I kind of show, like everything that I kind of showed in Toon Boom isn't exactly revolutionary with the essentials version. So yeah. Yeah, I understand. Okay. It's good to own and be skilled as many software as possible. Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully, yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I don't know where to go with this because the situation can change, you know, tomorrow. You can upgrade after buying one of them for a lower price if it's anything like TV Paint. I haven't really looked into TV Paint. I feel like it's more hand-drawn, which as you see, like I'm not exactly the best artist, so I hide behind the puppets. But yeah, I can upgrade after buying one of the other ones. I'm trying to think about how that would work. Like it would be for a lower price. Okay, I have to take it one word at a time. Okay, that'd be interesting. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of thought about it as a separate thought of like if you buy one of them or no, if you do like a subscription, like if you do the monthly or annually, if that monthly money accumulates into like the price of one of the other tiers or something for like a permanent license, then you should just be able to just buy it, you know, or just get it because you accumulated that amount into the other thing, rather than, you know, if I paid for essentials right now and then below $100 and then I would have to pay, you know, then I would have paid Toon, you know, 2,000 plus the 100 that I've spent. So it's just it's big money trying to figure this out. But if it's lower, then that'll be nice. It's just like I haven't seen that, so maybe. But yeah, I'll have to look into that to see if that works, like you're saying. But yeah, okay. Let me see. Check my emails again. Okay. I'll check that maybe later. This kind of software is so expensive. I feel like it's. I guess they might have had like one person, you know, in a studio say like, hey, let's just use this, you know, Toon Boom studio for a bit, and then other investors were like, hey, this works pretty good, and then it snowballs into like, well, Disney and Fox are all using it as their essential animation thing. Then it's like, well, then they can, you know, create a monopoly-ish kind of a situation, because for studios it seems like, well, the only other option is in Adobe. So really, for like studio-ish work, so it seems like they can jack up the price because they know that the other options aren't really gonna be useful. The actual program itself, I've yet to see if they're, you know, if premium is actually useful enough for that price. Yeah, it seems a little bit big. That's why I've always been like, I'm not gonna, you know, use it, because it just seems like if I get too invested in it, then it'd be a lot to invest in that, especially for, you know, already having a software that can basically do pretty much the same thing, you know, and then just getting used to that, as well as just having a library, as I said before, with the Flash library that I have. So it just seems like to create that again or recreate everything would just be a lot of work. If I like sat down and said like, oh, I'm gonna switch over to Toon Boom exclusively, the amount of work it would take to redo not just the animation that I have for the movie, but just like the characters themselves, I'm not sure how much I would have to like, can I create a base and then save that as a file and then make different characters out of that with different hairstyles and colors and palettes. Excuse me. It just seems like that would take just as long. The amount of time it would take to do that would be as long as like animating entire shot, I would think. So, and then it doesn't seem like it. Oh no, you know, you'll waste a couple days on it trying to recreate things. But especially with if I have like a half animated thing to recreate, like 30 seconds worth to reanimate would be a lot. But the amount of tools that I would have and not having symbols or like digging in between symbols would be somewhat faster. It's hard to see. I mean, each time you like go in and out of a symbol wastes like 2 or 3 frames or milliseconds. So the amount of time we would save by not doing that, it adds up. But like after like a whole project, mine only lose like maybe a minute. You know. So, but yeah, okay. Let me drink some more water, man. throat's actually like drying up as I talk. Ugh. Okay. I think that's good for that. We can put a pin in it. That, yeah, the situation will probably change. I've emailed the director. He hasn't talked in a week, so he's probably busy with something else. So, we'll see if he contacts me again, and then if we're ready to roll, and then I can figure it out from there. But yeah, thanks for helping with me with that cookie. It's more complicated than that with that. But yeah, yeah, I'll look to see if it's cheaper if you happen to buy the cheaper one, which buying the essentials would be, what would that be? Like, oh, that was 200. It's 400. Great. All right. So, nice. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. I mean, the only risk that I'm taking right now is just I'm wasting time to learn a different program with this trial right now. So, seems like a good thing to do though. So, okay, there's no right options then. Probably maybe if I have time, like in a year or something, I can look into TV Paint and all those. But yeah. Okay. Let's see. I can stop this, and as well I can probably get some dinner after this. So, hope you have a good day, good night. I'm gonna have a good one. So I hope you have a good one too. Please. So yeah, okay. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for watching to the end. Thank you. Yeah, thanks for everyone who was in here. I know these towards times don't really go anywhere. So yeah, thank you so much, and see you next time. Bye bye.